Hello everybody, welcome back, and in today's video, we are going to rank every single thing in Clash of Clans, Part 3. I apologize last video if you found the flipping annoying. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that the flipping was there, so I apologize for that. And without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, first is the Super Archer. Probably the worst Super Troop in my opinion. It's definitely going to go in D. For 12 housing space, she has a lot more HP and health than Archer, but still, even though her piercing shot it's kind of mediocre, in my opinion. It only can target like 4 buildings, I think. 4 or 5 buildings, but she does so little damage. It's like even less, like compared to 12 archers against buildings, she really is just nothing. And her HP, even though it's decent, a lot more than Archer, it still goes down very quickly for 12 HP. So that's why it's going to go in D. Definitely the worst Super Troop in the game. And maybe I'll put it at the beginning of decent. Alright, Super Barbarian's definitely an upgrade from Super Archer. For 5 housing space, it's pretty decent, so I'm going to put it in B. It's sometimes good at Town Hall 11 and maybe 12, but still, even at Town Hall 13, it's still, I don't really use it that often, and it's probably no less at Town Hall 15. That's why it's going to go in B. Okay, and Super Bowler, it's kind of similar to Super Archer, but a lot more HP and over 3 times more housing space, more HP, more damage, but for, twice as much. But for but for 2 Super Archers, it's definitely way better. So I'm gonna put it at the beginning of C, as not as good as like Super Barbarian, but it's definitely a C tier. And Super Dragon, I use Super Dragon. If I'm not using Electro Dragon, I definitely use Super Dragon. I love Super Dragon. It's basically the best Super Troop in the game. That's just gonna go at S plus tier, at the end of S plus. It's still not as good as Electro, but as I told you, 75% of my attacks use Electro Dragon, and 20% of them use Super Dragon. So that's why it's gonna go at S plus. Definitely my favorite Super Dragon. Super Troop, and I love this thing, but I love it just a little bit less than Electro Dragon. All right, next is the Super Giant, which I find between Super Barbarian and Super Giant, they're both different, but they're still both going at B. Again, these are good maybe at Town Hall 11 and 12, but again, as a Town Hall 13, as like a mid Town Hall 13 player, I still find it as a B. But it's definitely an upgrade from Super Giant for 2 giants. All right, next is the new Super Troop, the Super Miner, which is kind of weird because it has more HP than Inferno Dragon, and it starts from like a little bit of damage and gets to a lot, but it starts from a lot more and goes to a lot less. Like, it only caps out at like 600, I think, per second, and it doesn't have as much HP as like P.E.K.K.A, but it's definitely. Have we ranked Inferno Dragon yet? It's definitely gonna go the same tier as Inferno Dragon. And the bomb definitely makes up for it, so I'm going to put it, like, a little, like, not the top of A, but, like, mid-A. So it's definitely, like, mid-A. Alright, next is the Super Minion. Super Minion, I find pretty useful. I sometimes use it to snipe off buildings, along with Super Dragon or Electro Dragon. So I'm going to put it at B, because it's, actually, you know what, I'll put it at the end of A, at the mid-A, as, again, a useful troop, but still not as good as S or S plus, obviously. All right, next is the heal spell. Healing spell, it's definitely my like most used spell. I can't decide if it's the rage spell or this one, but it's definitely gonna go at the end of S, as I can't really decide between the healing spell and also the rage spell. Healing spell heals things for like 30 seconds, I think 25, and the rage spell for about the same. So they're both, one heals a lot and does great at its job, one rages and it's amazing at its job. I think the rage spell is a little bit better than heal spell, because it's like heal spell is good at its job, Actually, you know what? I can't really decide which one's better. And even though I'm putting their healing spell above rage spell, it's basically the same. So it's basically equal. Alright, next is the lightning spell. Lightning spell is my third favorite spell. I mean, second, first are tied. I'm gonna put it at the beginning of A as a great third favorite spell. Great, and one, I think it does like 600 and something damage at max level. And combined with Earthquake, it can be great for taking out some key defenses like Scatter Shot, Infernos, Expos, Spell Towers, and more. Alright, next we have the Freeze spell, which again it freezes things for like 7 seconds, 8 seconds, and it's definitely gonna go at it's my fourth favorite spell. I'm gonna put it at mid A, as not as good as lightning spell, but definitely great because it freezes everything, and that could just be really helpful sometimes. Next is the invisibility spell. Its spell is tricky to use, but if you use it right, it can be extremely overpowered. I'm gonna put it at the beginning of B as if you know what you're doing, it can be super OP, but it's trash if you have no idea what you're doing. If you use it right, it can destroy entire areas of bases, combined with like Super Wizard, Super Archer, and more. Alright, next is the Super Valkyrie, which is kind of weird. I'd rather have Super Valkyrie than like three or two Valkyries, because like it's bad to use on its own, because for 20 housing space, that's a lot. And when the rage spell, you can't use it to snipe, because half of it is the rage spell. In the rage spell, it drops among death, which means that if she was the last to die, it would be wasted. So you can't snipe with it, because the whole point is the rage spell. It would be better if it dropped it midway, or like when it's dropped, then it would be, maybe that would be a little bit too OP, but maybe halfway till she dies, that'll be definitely B tier. Alright, next is the skeleton spell, which I can't really decide the skeleton. Sorry guys, skeleton spell or the bat spell. I'm gonna put them both at. Wait, did I rank the bat spell already? Where's the bat spell? Am I blind, guys? Oh, no, I already rated it. I'm gonna put them at the same tier. Alright, next is the Yeti. Yeti is definitely, I use ground attack sometimes, but I'm gonna put it at S as a great troop. My favorite ground. Sorry guys, one sec. And wait, what did I just do? Alright, now I'm gonna the Super Wall Breaker. This is definitely like great at what it's doing, and that's only, and if you have one, sometimes you need to be great at one thing, and this just happens to be it. So that's just gonna go at A. Alright, next is the haste spell. Haste spell, I find it as a substitute rage spell, even though it doesn't rage it. It makes it makes attack speed, and I'm pretty sure it makes the attack speed and speed faster than the rage. I don't think it moves faster than the rage spell. I don't think it does the same attacks, has a higher attack speed increase than the rage spell. But yeah, it only costs one spell housing space. It's definitely gonna go at A. Not as good as the rage spell, but still a great one. Alright, next is gonna go at recall spell. As a Town Hall 13, I just have it at level 1 because I barely use it. So I'm just gonna put it at B, as I don't really use. Wait, what did I just do? Recall spell at B, as I don't really use, but I'm still gonna put it at B because I don't think it's that bad. Next is a Super Witch. For 40 housing space, she's definitely she's great at Town Hall 12, but I'm not sure how good she is at Town Hall 15. Actually, at Town Hall 13, I think she's still pretty good, maybe even at Town Hall 14. Maybe even good at Town Hall 15 too. So I'm going to put it at the beginning of A as a S for Town Hall 12, S for Town Hall 13, A plus for Town Hall 14, maybe A for Town Hall 15. So I'm going to put it at A plus as like a Actually, I'm gonna put it at S minus as a like the end of S, like an overall great option, but still not as great as some other things. All right, next is the Valkyrie. At Town Hall 8, she is so OP that she would definitely be at S plus. She's definitely gonna go at the end of S. Is not a great troop. Like the splash damage, it only does it, I think, if they're one tile, like they're right next to each other. I don't think if they're one tile away at minuses, it makes it unable to splash both of them. But her splash damage is so effective and amazing. Alright, the last spell is the poison spell, which is one job and it's great at it. So I think it's gonna go at B. That's a great at one thing, and you do it. Alright, next is the Wall Breaker. Definitely not as good as the Super Wall Breaker, but still gonna go one tier lower as a okay. But definitely for the difference, Wall Breaker dies a lot easier, but it's still great at lower town halls. But at higher town halls, you just use the Super Wall Breaker because the Wall Breaker dies so easily and so little HP. It's not really worth it anymore. Our next is the Witch. Witch definitely not as I'd say it's like A plus, as a Town Hall 9, 10, maybe 9 mostly, 10 maybe, and 11 maybe, but like at Town Hall 9 when there's no Inferno Towers and the only good splash defense are Wizard Towers and no scatter shots or any of Inferno Towers or any of that, it's definitely gonna maybe go at S, but I would say it's going at A, as they're not good for higher town halls when there's lots of splash defenses. I could take them out easier, but still. Alright, next is the Super Wizard, which are going to go at A, as it's great in Clay and Capital, but it's still going to go at A, as a not that useful, but I'm still going to put it at A. Alright, next is the Wizard, which at Town Hall 5, it does quite a bit of damage, and so it's going to go in B. It's a great damage dealer for lower town halls, but higher town halls just other ways to do damage, so it's gonna go at B. Alright guys, that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then like, subscribe, and yeah, that's it. Alright guys, bye. See you next time.